Welcome to Amanda Hall's Psychic Mini Workshop of the Week here on Facebook Live on a Wednesday afternoon here in Queensland, Australia on the Gold Coast. This afternoon we're going to be talking about this week the energy has moved into Pisces. Now Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, and it's a very interesting little sign because it is the 12th sign, so it's affectionately known as the dustbin cycle. For those of you that don't know a lot about astrology, Pisces is the 12th sign. It is the sign of the fish. It is also a water sign. So it means in layman's terms, the energy that surrounds this is water. Now, Pisces is known as the steam of the water. It's the water that steams up like what steams up in a kettle. It is known as a mutable sign. So that means it's flexible. It means it's not fixed. It's not rigid. It's not selfish. It's a sign that can mold itself into any situation and feel comfortable with it. It is also known as a passive sign. So it's not an aggressive sign. It doesn't want to jump about the place, beating its chest, saying, here I am, look at me. It always wants to sort of make everybody feel happy. A lot of times people look at Pisces and they say it's the two fish chasing their tail, and they quite often talk about that they never really understand what it is that they're looking for in life. I don't necessarily agree with that terminology of Pisces. I think I immediately exhale when I think of the energy of Pisces. I think, we're home. We finally get to a sign where they have such tremendous wisdom. They actually have the wisdom, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, from the previous 11 signs. They take it on board and they make it their own. They have an ability to be incredibly creative. They enhance that creativity in many forms. You find a lot of people with the Pisces energy work in water-based industries, whether it's scuba diving or shipping or oil or liquids or some kind, but they're also some of our greatest film directors, screenwriters, screenplay writers, authors and things like that come from the Pisces energy, because they have the ability to be able to create, to manifest, to go out into sort of what is known as the Neptunian fog and sort of look at a situation in 4, 5, 6 different ways, play it all out in their mind as if it's a videotape, and then pick the best situation, bring it back, and that becomes their truth. So this is sometimes where we see that Pisces seem to be, some people describe them as they're constantly exaggerating the truth or embellishing the truth. Well, maybe they are, but it's their way, it's their truth, it's their reality, it's their take on what they see is the reality of the situation. Now, their ruling planet is Neptune. Neptune is the planet of illusion or delusion or creativity. It's a planet that sort of, I think, is mystical. It helps us embellish our ideas, our thoughts, our patterns in life. It also makes us get out of bed of a morning because we've got something exciting to look forward to. We've got the mystery, we've got the intrigue, we've got things that, you know, other people would sort of say, oh, that's only child's play. You know, why are people looking at it through such childish eyes? Well, childish eyes sometimes can be a good thing because it means we're looking at things in a different perspective. We're not just locked into this is the only way we can resolve a situation or approach a problem. We can approach it from many different angles, and that's what the Pisces energy brings to the table. The Pisces energy is also known to rule mental health. And I have lots of Piscean friends, and they used to make me laugh when they'd say, I'm having a mental health day. And I used to look at them strange and think, what's a mental health day? Where someone else would have the day off work and affectionately call it a sickie because they wanted to go out or go shopping or need to go to the doctor or whatever. Our darling little Piscean friends would say, I'm having a mental health day, meaning I'm having the day off because my mental health needs it. I can't cram anything more into my mind, and I'm starting to feel overload, so I'm going to have the day off. And that's not a bad thing. It's a very, very good thing that at least they were open and honest with themselves, saying, I can't deal with this, I can't cope with this anymore, so I'm going to give myself the luxury of having the day off and collecting my thoughts and going to the beach or watching a movie or just doing nothing or going, you know, playing in my garden. Whatever it is that they feel will bring their mental health back into balance. Now, not all Pisceans love the water. Not all of them need to go to the water to have a cleansing, but some of them do. And a lot of times you'll find Pisceans like to be near the water or have frequent showers. And it's sort of something that's good for their soul. It's their way of cleansing themselves in a way, if you relate to the fact that they are the fish, and fish live in water, so therefore they've got to hydrate the outside of their body with running water or jumping into water to make them feel positive about themselves, and to make them feel as if, okay, I've got rid of any negative energy that might have been accumulating on my physical exterior. I've now washed it away. So that's very important also. If you fall in love with a Pisces, well, you're a very, very lucky person, because usually they worship the ground that you walk on. They really do make wonderful partners, wonderful love partners, because they're very romantic. They're usually very complimentary of their partners. They really do see the beauty in everything, and in, you know, from inside and the outside. They can see into somebody's soul, and they can see how beautiful that person is on the inside, as well as appreciate the exterior of good looks, or a beautiful hairdo, or a nice dress, or a nice suit, or whatever. They appreciate the finer things in life. Some people also look at, you know, well, I don't know whether they've got enough backbone for me. By falling in love with a Pisces, am I going to fall in love with somebody that has got enough strength for me? Don't ever underestimate the strength of a Piscean. They have more strength than what you know about. They just don't tend to run around beating their chest saying, I'm the strongest or I'm the greatest. They do it in a very subtle, gentle sort of way. So what's the perfect match for Pisces? Well, obviously a fellow Piscean would be a great match for a Pisces, but our second choice would be Cancer, and our third choice would be Scorpio. Again, focusing on the water signs, because they have something naturally in common. They all work with feelings and emotions, and, you know, the feeling in their tummy. But my fourth choice would be Virgo. Why would I choose a Virgo? Well, that's exactly 6 signs away from the Piscean energy. It's known as what is their opposite sign, and that's why that's their fourth choice. But as you will learn from me over the coming shows, that anybody can really fall in love with any sign. Just because your sun sign might be Pisces, it doesn't mean that you may not be attracted to a fire sign, or an earth sign, or an air sign. It just means that one part of you is water. There's another 9 planets that make up who we are. So we find that we can be attracted to different people for different reasons. So don't just rule out the fact, if you don't fit into those 4 signs that I've spoken about, well, then maybe it's the wrong love match for you, because that's not always the case. If you want to know more about who you are compatible with, I do have an amazing book out called Simply Astrology. If you want to head to my website, www.amandahallpsychic.com.au, and head to the astrology section, you'll find there the book's on special at the moment, free postage here in Australia. And it's a book that I wrote on astrology to help people understand more about themselves, their family and their friends, with little or no knowledge of who you are, or other than when your birth date is. And it's a good coffee table style book that's easy to read, it's easy to digest, and helps you understand a little bit more about who you are and what your star sign is, and more importantly, who you're compatible with. There's a whole section there on love. So the other thing that we need to discuss about with Piscean energy is, sometimes Pisces are known for them not being able to handle their emotional and mental health issues, and they sometimes can take things to a point where they take matters into their own hands. Now, by that I mean sometimes they might be known to drink a little bit too much, or to be attracted to drugs, even prescription drugs, a little bit too much, as their way of escaping what's going on in their head. If their head is going round and round in circles and they want to, you know, they haven't got the off switch, sometimes they can do that to try and sort of just shut their mind down long enough so that they can get a little reprieve and then come back and look at life again tomorrow. Some people look at them as looking at going through life with their rose-coloured glasses on, and maybe they do to a certain point. And I've seen a lot of astrologers write over the years that it's the Peter Pan syndrome. They never want to grow up. They don't really like responsibility. They don't really want to shoulder it on their shoulders, give it to someone else. And that can be all true too. But as I said before, don't ever underestimate a Pisces, because there's more depth to them than what you realise in that outer shell of the 2 fish seemingly chasing their tail. They're not always that simple. They're not always that easy to understand. They have tremendous power. They have tremendous psychic ability, and they just have a knowing, because remember, there's 11 signs previously before them where they have taken the magic of all those bits and pieces, the good, bad and indifferent, from the previous 11 signs, and made it their own. So in a sense, I look at them as sitting not the dustbin of the zodiac. I see them sitting on the throne as the wise one, as the one that we can all turn to when we need some answers in maybe a non-threatening way, where they don't directly give you an answer, but they say a few words of wisdom that sort of catapults your thinking onto other areas of your life. It's thought-provoking. They've planted a seed. You take it away, you water it, you nurture it, you watch it grow, and it becomes yours. They don't necessarily want the recognition for your ideas. All they want to know is that they've been able to help you in some small way fulfill your spiritual journey, help you get on your path. They make the greatest healers. They make the greatest teachers. And it's because I think of their such gentle approach to life that people find it very easy to talk to them. You quite often find people will walk up to a total stranger of a Pisces and start telling them their life story and say, I don't understand why I'm talking to you, why I feel so comfortable with you. And this is why, because they are that mutable, gentle Piscean sort of energy. So the sun has just moved into Pisces for its stint for this year. And that brings me to the candles that we'd be working with this week in our mini workshop. And of course, we're going to be working with a water sign candle, or the candle that's known for the Piscean energy. And this is my water sign candle here. And this covers the 3 water signs, whether it be Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. But for those of you that want to start to work with the Piscean energy at this time of the year, this is the time for each and every one of us, no matter what star sign we are, where we can start to draw towards us our creative side. Is there some new projects you'd like to get off the ground? Is there something that you've been trying to manifest or bring towards you, or something that you've been trying to start? You might have been trying to start to write a book. You might want to make some changes in your life. You might want to take up painting or flower arranging or something along those lines. Now's the perfect time to do that. Write it, put it on a piece of paper, get it ready to put it underneath your candle on your plate before you light it. So if you've got 3 things that you want to draw towards you, read them out aloud, light your candle for a half an hour to an hour a day, every day during the Pisces energy, and keep reaffirming that this is what you're hoping to draw towards you. For me, I'm actually working on a new website for my other part of my business, Golden Tree Productions. So that's something that is a work in progress for me and a big learning curve. So I've certainly got my Pisces candle going, or I will have later today, with what I'm trying to achieve with it, and asking for the most divine guidance to help me with achieving the results that I want to achieve, and whether that means bringing on board a professional that knows more than me, or doing some further research and studying myself, whatever the answers may be, I'll be putting that on my piece of paper, asking for divine guidance and my psychic ability to guide me into achieving this project. So for those of you that might want to take your candle with you in a creative environment, maybe you're going to do some work by the beach, or you're going on holidays, or you just like to take it to work with you and continue that energy, we have the water sign candles in the little mini candles. You'll get about 15 hours out of each candle if you leave them not in a draft. We always try and burn candles in a very safe environment, never near an open window, never under a fan, and please don't put them underneath your curtains so that when the wind blows the curtains catch on fire, and so does the house. It's really important that we always make sure that we put our candle on another surface. Don't ever put it directly on a table or furniture or on a carpet. Always put it on another surface. Always make sure that there's something between you and the table, because the glass containers do get hot. The actual soy that we make the candles out of is a natural 100% Eco Soy, the best in the world to this time. And we do use fragrances that are non-toxic. We use non-toxic lead-free wicks. But you must understand, the glass container itself is what gets hot. The soy itself doesn't get hot. So if for some reason you've had a little accident and you've knocked your candle over, or something like that's happened, the cat's walked over and knocked it over for you, which happens quite frequently, you can wash your soy up with warm soapy water and it won't leave a stain. It is something, though, that I always suggest to people, be very mindful when you're lighting a candle that it's in a safe location, it's away from children, and make sure that you only burn it while you can be in the room with it. I never suggest to anybody leaving anything unattended, no matter how good a setup you think you've got, and you've got water all around it or sand or whatever, it is still not worth the risk of leaving a candle unattended. For those of you that might like to use an oil burner or a melt warmer, you can take a teaspoonful of this out and put it into your melt warmer and use it that way if that's what you wish to do. And again, you can put your intentions underneath the candle, underneath your melt warmer. I quite often do that, particularly in summer, or if I'm busy and I don't feel that I can spend as much time sitting there with the candle because I have other commitments on. I'll take a teaspoonful and put it in my melt warmer and read out my intentions, put them underneath on the glass tray and set the melt warmer, and every time I walk past it, or particularly I have it in my workspace, when I glance over it, I try and reaffirm that's what I'm working with. So I hope you're enjoying our little mini workshop series that we're going to have here each week on Facebook Live. Next week we'll be working with the full moon. It'll be the full moon for our March full moon, which will be in Virgo. So I hope you can join us next week for that. If you have any questions, please feel free to private message me here on Facebook. I do have a weekly show out of the US at 1 o'clock Queensland time here on Facebook on a Wednesday afternoon on A1R Psychic Radio, where we work with the candle of the week, the Simply Tarot card of the week. We have a glimpse of the universe, and I also perform 2 free readings a week. But you must book that through A1R Psychic Radio. No, I do not do free readings here on my little mini workshop. As you can appreciate, time is important to me also, and I have other commitments, but my 2 free readings for the week are on A1R Psychic Radio every week. So good luck. I look forward to working with you again next week. Have a great week. Bye for now.